Are you an empath, or do you know somebody who's an empath? This video, we're going to share about what it means to be an empath, the benefits of having this intuitive ability, and also how to manage it effectively. Number one, as you might already have discovered within yourself, empathic people have the ability to take on the energy and emotions of other people and feel it in their own body as if it is their own. Now, this skill, this gift is troubling to most empathic people because, as we all know, a lot of people in the world, they don't feel very good all the time. We don't even feel very good all the time. So if somebody's in a poor mood or feeling down in some way and you're feeling it, it's almost like you have to manage your own challenges and then you pick up the energy of other people. And it can be just very confusing and very overwhelming. But that's only half the equation. Being able to read people's truth, being able to perceive their true state of being, regardless of what they're saying. Most people are very kind of, they pretend basically, but you can really feel into what people are going through. And that gives you an opportunity at times, when appropriate, to be able to lend a helping hand, to say a kind word, to kind of offer someone compassion. And it can go a long way, your empathic ability to helping you help make other people's lives better and make the world a brighter place. The next thing you need to know is that empathic people are very sensitive to their environment, the energy, the vibe, if you will, of the environment. It's something that affects you physically, mentally, emotionally. And if left to kind of run amok, if your intuitive sense is just too open and broad all the time, it's like an overwhelm of information overload you feel, and it can make you feel very confused and like disconnected and grounded, and it makes you just want to recluse and not even be around people. But again, this is also, once you learn to kind of manage this, it's very helpful, because then you can easily discern what is good for you, what is right for you, what is true for you. Maybe you're at a job interview and the person sitting before you is saying all the right things. The job seems fine, but you can feel the vibe, the energy, it's just not compatible with you. And even if they pay you well, even if your job title looks attractive on paper, you can tell without having to waste maybe months of your life and wasting your time and other people's time. You can tell this ain't gonna work. Well, how do you know, empath? Well, I can feel it. I just know it. And then, on the other side of the token, you might have a job interview that's like, it doesn't pay as good as you would like, but you can feel the resonance. You can feel this is going to be a good fit for you. And then maybe you get that job, and then 2 weeks later, somebody else in a much higher position, more ideal position, they're fired, and your boss offers it to you, and suddenly your pay goes up, and you have like this absolutely like awesome and ideal job situation. As an empathic person, you can sort of foresee that by your ability to tap into the energy. Also, empathic people have the ability to empathize with people on a soul level, which is phenomenal for your relationships. A lot of empathic people, even though as they start to initially wake up to this ability, and for a time it's like overwhelming and they don't like it, eventually, like anything in life, like riding a bike, you get the hang of it and you get to kind of come into your own. And you start to discover your own truth. You start to really be able to decide who you really are. And then as you start to go through life more authentically, that's when we tend to attract the soul family, the soulmate people. And this goes beyond what Hollywood would deem your soulmate, your lover. This soul family are people that you have almost like such a deep bond and love and connection with that it transcends ordinary relationships. I don't know about you, but I've met people that after one conversation, there's just a familiarity to them. There's a resonance in my body and a genuine and sometimes profound level of love that doesn't even seem to make any sense. And being an empath myself, I've gone through my life over the last 15 years sort of working with this ability, and it's allowed me to connect myself with all sorts of soul family members. My dear brother, you may know him, Aaron Dowdy, he's like beyond the best friend of mine. He feels like a brother. We act like brothers, and he's like a soul brother. I met my beautiful wife, Patty. She's a soulmate. She's someone that, I have this like soul history with, and our relationship, it's not always easy, but it's fulfilling, it's real, it's authentic. We grow together. And it also extends into acquaintances. You'll have soulmate bosses, soulmate coworkers, soulmate, people that do your lawn, whatever it is. You'll start to align yourself, your frequency with people that are literally from your soul family. Whether that's a true thing or not, it will allow you to really have extremely deep and meaningful, real, authentic relationships where you can be yourself, where you feel safe to be yourself, where you're encouraged to be yourself. And it's amazing. Now, a lot of you are saying, Victor, I'm experiencing the exact opposite of this, bro. I'm becoming aware of all the relationships in my life that are not like that are not in alignment, that are not authentic, and I'm waking up to it. Good. Because that's part of the process of rearranging your life and yourself so that you are more in alignment and therefore more open. So be patient if you're currently in this kind of transitional period. I went through it, it's part of it, and on the other side of it is a soul family reunion. Number 4, it's very important for empathic people to learn how to set boundaries and manage their energy to protect themselves from overwhelming situations. Now, it's not easy because it's kind of funny. Setting a boundary, as a lot of you know, oftentimes requires saying no, or more broadly, it means saying something that you can accurately anticipate is going to maybe upset someone. You can tell someone's got like an agenda. They have an attachment to this maybe request of you, and you can see it all over the place. You can feel it, and you know that you don't want to do it. It's not ideal for you. It's not fair to you maybe, but in saying no, in that moment, it's going to be uncomfortable for you especially, and also them. It's going to, you can anticipate the tension that's going to arise in the circumstance that, because you're empathic, you feel a lot. So a lot of times empathic people overextend themselves. But this, as you probably have learned, kind of kicks you in the butt in the end. You avoided the tension for the moment, but then you find yourself obligated to do this thing you put your word into, you gave them your word, and that's going to be way worse. Oftentimes, I've also found this in my own life, avoiding those uncomfortable, tense conversations that maybe the moment calls for, but we avoid it. That usually leads to even more intense energy because there's like a buildup of pressure, and that pressure is going to kind of culminate. Whatever is unresolved will come to light, and if you nip it in the butt right away, it's a little uncomfortable, but it's better in the long run. But it's not easy, but it's very important. If an empathic person really wants to manage their ability effectively, they're gonna have to become, I wouldn't say comfortable with, but used to, and accept the fact that saying no can go a long way to you managing your energy and offering an equal amount of love and goodness to yourself as you so willingly do other people. Empaths can also benefit greatly from a type of meditation or self-care practice. A lot of people say, Vic, I don't like meditation. I can't sit still. My mind's too racy. Well, for one, that's how it is for most people. I've been meditating for like 15 years. My mind is still racy, but it still helps. But what I'm saying is empathic people, if they really have the expectation of truly managing their energy and optimizing their gift and having that discernment and having that balance in their life and not feeling so overwhelmed, I've never met a single empath that can do that without some type of self-care practice. Now, I know imposing structure, a regimen into your life is oftentimes, not a desirable idea to empathic people. But what I found for myself, I understand that line of thinking, but I also found that having the discipline and doing something like meditating, even when I don't want to, even when I don't feel like it, forcing myself to do that actually gives me freedom. It allows me to go through life more conscious, more present, more grounded. It allows me to make more conscious choices in my life and not be run by my lower impulses. It also allows me to be able to recognize when my tank is needing to be refilled and I'm in the red zone and I'm on empty. It just makes you more self-aware. Also, it cultivates a sense of inner peace and tranquility and balance, and it calms the mind. It kind of soothes the central nervous system for the empath, which can very easily be kind of like overactive, our nervous system. Even common casual situations when you can maybe sense, maybe you're on a bus and you could tell the bus driver's in kind of an ornery mood. That alone could cause you to go into almost a fight or flight thing because you're just so sensitive to their energy. But a meditation practice can give you that ability to be more objective, to where you can be aware that bus driver didn't sleep well and he's upset because of something going on with his relationship or something. You could know all that, but when you are meditative, you can stay detached. You won't feel so entangled in everybody's energy because you can just, again, be aware without attachment. And finally, number 6, like any interesting thing in life, being an empath is it's like a spiral, upward, expansive journey. You can become more intuitive, more in touch. And this might sound like the exact opposite of what you want to do. Vic, I don't want to be more intuitive. I don't want to be more open. Well, as you learn to balance it, and especially if you have that practice, you can be more objective, you can go deeper and deeper and deeper and just become quite an amazing coach. A lot of empathic people become coaches, healers, very creative. An empathic person who's that open, you can kind of perceive these amazing $1 million inspired ideas floating around the cosmos that most people are blind to. Most people are locked up inside of their shell, and you're open to all this. You can bring through some amazing just inspirations from the divine because you can perceive them. And you just get better and better and better at this, more and more balanced, more and more in tune with yourself and your higher faculties. And it also allows you to be just a really compassionate and understanding friend and lover and father or mother. And you just can become a really good person because an empath is very open to love, open to their heart, open to what matters in life. And I promise you, if you just take even a couple of these little suggestions, and hopefully even with this understanding, you can start to see your empathic ability not as a curse, not as a burden, not as a series and bullet point list of symptoms to be managed, but as a blessing. Sensitivity is a blessing. And I hope that by the end of this video, you can recognize that and start to experience a lot of the cool stuff I've experienced in my journey being an empath. More love, more purpose, more impact, more peace, more happiness. Hey, just want to say thank you again, my friend, for stopping by. If you enjoyed the video, you might also like my blog. I'm a lot more prolific these days on my blog. I'll leave a link down to my website below where you can see different content about empathic people, about the spiritual awakening, about discovering your purpose, and just self-improvement in general. I share with you what I've learned over the years. I've also been a coach for many years and have been doing YouTube for quite a while, and I've just learned a lot from interacting with cool, introspective people like yourself. So click below if you want to read some more articles. With that said, my friends, you have an amazing day.